Picture this, a stormy night in New York City, rain pounding the pavement like a drumbeat, and two strangers, soaked to the bone, dive into the same yellow cab just to escape the downpour. Their eyes meet for a split second, and in that fleeting moment, something sparks, something neither of them can explain. Was it fate? Coincidence? Or the start of a love story that would change their lives forever? Right now, you're probably wondering, who are these two people? And what happens when a single rainy night turns into a journey full of sunshine? Well, my friends, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to unravel the mystery of what happened when these two shared a cab in the rain. And trust me, it's a story that'll make your heart race, your eyes tear up, and your soul believe in the magic of human connection. So grab a cozy blanket, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's dive into this incredible tale together. I'm talking directly to you, because I know you're here for a reason. You're curious, you're ready to feel something, and I promise you by the end of this video, you'll have the answers you came for. But here's the deal. You've got to stick with me, because this story is full of twists, turns, and moments that'll keep you glued to the screen. Let's set the scene a little more, because I want you to feel like you're right there in that cab, rain streaking down the windows, the city lights blurring into a kaleidoscope of color. You're not just watching a story. You're living it with me. Imagine you're in New York, a place where dreams are born and broken every single day. It's 2025, and the city's buzzing with energy, even in the middle of a storm. The air smells like wet asphalt and possibility. You're sitting in the back of this cab, and you can feel the tension, the unspoken questions hanging between these two strangers. There's Emma, a 29-year-old graphic designer who's just had the worst day of her life. Her boss chewed her out, her apartment's flooding, and now she's drenched, wondering if the universe is out to get her. She's got this fiery spirit though, the kind that refuses to give up, even when everything's falling apart. And then there's Noah, a 32-year-old musician with a guitar case slung over his shoulder, his eyes carrying the weight of a dream he's been chasing for years but hasn't quite caught. He's charming, a little rough around the edges, but there's something about him that makes you root for him instantly. These two don't know each other. Not yet, but in this moment, they're sharing more than just a cab. They're sharing a feeling, a tiny flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, this rainy night is about to change everything. I know you're already picturing them, wondering what's going to happen next, and I'm here to tell you. This is where the magic begins. Now, I want to take a second to connect with you because you're not just some random viewer. You're someone who clicked on this video because you believe in stories, in love, in the crazy, beautiful ways life can surprise us. Maybe you've had a moment like this yourself. A chance encounter, a glance that lingered a little too long, a feeling that made you wonder if the universe was trying to tell you something. Or maybe you're just here because you love a good story, and you're ready to escape into one that'll make you laugh, cry, and feel alive. Either way, I see you, and I'm so glad you're here. This video isn't just about Emma and Noah, it's about all of us, about the moments that shape who we are and who we're meant to become. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This story isn't just a romance. It's about second chances, about finding yourself when you're lost, about the courage it takes to open your heart when the world's telling you to keep it locked tight. But here's the thing. I'm not going to spoil it all right now. I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seat, because I know you want to know how a single cab ride turns into a future full of sunshine. And to get there, you've got to stay with me, because every second of this video is building toward an answer that'll blow your mind. Let's talk about why this story matters, because I know you're not here just for fluff. You want something real, something that hits you right in the feels. Emma and Noah aren't just characters, they're people like you and me, people who've been knocked down by life but still have that spark of hope burning inside. Emma's been through heartbreak, betrayal, and a career that's starting to feel like a dead end. She's the kind of person who puts on a brave face but secretly wonders if she's enough. Noah, on the other hand, is a dreamer who's been told one too many times that his music isn't going to pay the bills. He's got this infectious optimism, but beneath it, there's a fear that maybe he's running out of time. When they end up in that cab together, it's not just a random moment. It's a collision of two lives that are both at a crossroads. And here's where it gets juicy. They don't just share small talk or awkward silences. Something happens in that cab, something that makes them both question everything they thought they knew about love, fate, and what it means to truly connect with another person. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I want you to feel the anticipation, to lean in and wonder. What could possibly happen in a 10-minute cab ride that changes two people forever? You're going to find out, I promise, but you've got to keep watching, because every detail I'm about to share is a piece of the puzzle. I know you're probably thinking, okay, but why should I care about these two strangers? And that's a fair question. Here's why. Their story is universal. It's about the moments in life that catch you off guard, the ones that make you believe in something bigger than yourself. It's about the way a single conversation, a single glance, can shift the entire trajectory of your life. You've felt that before, haven't you? That moment when you meet someone and it's like the world slows down, like everything else fades away. That's what Emma and Noah are experiencing, and I'm betting you've been there too, or you're hoping to be. This video is for anyone who's ever taken a chance, who's ever believed in the possibility of something more. And let's be real. In a world that's moving a million miles an hour, where we're all scrolling through TikTok and swiping on dating apps, a story like this reminds us to slow down, to pay attention, to notice the magic in the everyday. I'm telling you this because I want you to feel invested, to root for Emma and Noah like they're your best friends. I want you to laugh with them, hurt with them, and cheer for them when the stakes get high. And trust me, the stakes are about to get very high. Now let's talk about the vibe of this story, because I want you to feel the atmosphere in your bones. This isn't just a fluffy rom-com, it's got heart, it's got depth, it's got that mix of humor and raw emotion that makes you feel like you're on a roller coaster. The tone is warm, hopeful, and just a little bit messy, because life is messy, right? The rain in this story isn't just a backdrop. It's a symbol of the chaos we all face, the storms that test us. But it's also a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's a chance for light, for connection, for something beautiful to break through. That's what Emma and Noah are chasing, even if they don't know it yet. And the conflict? Oh, it's juicy. It's not just about whether they'll fall in love, it's about whether they're brave enough to let go of their fears, their pasts, and the walls they've built around their hearts. There's a moment in that cab, a single exchange, that sets off a chain of events neither of them could have predicted. I'm not going to tell you what they say or do, but I will tell you this. It's the kind of moment that makes you gasp, that makes you lean forward and say, "No way, did that just happen?" You're going to want to see how it plays out, because this isn't just about a cab ride. It's about what happens when two people take a leap into the unknown. I want to make sure you're hooked, because I know you're curious about where this is going. So let me give you a little taste of what's coming without giving too much away. After that rainy night, Emma and Noah's lives start to intertwine in ways they never expected. There's a coffee shop, a lost notebook, and a song that holds a secret neither of them is ready to face. There's laughter, there's heartbreak, and there's a moment that'll make you believe in the power of second chances. But here's the kicker. Not everything is as it seems. There's a twist, a big one, that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about these two. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to test them in ways that'll leave you on the edge of your seat. Will they find their way to that future full of sunshine, or will the storm tear them apart before they even get the chance? You're going to have to watch to find out, because I'm not spilling the beans just yet. But I will say this, by the end of this video, you're going to feel like you've been on a journey, like you've laughed and cried and discovered something new about yourself along the way. Okay, let's get personal for a second, because I want you to know why I'm so passionate about sharing this story with you. I've always believed that stories are what connect us, what remind us we're not alone. And this story? It's special. It's the kind of story that makes you want to call your best friend, hug your partner, or maybe even reach out to that person you've been too scared to talk to. It's the kind of story that stays with you long after the video ends. And I know you're feeling it too, that pull, that curiosity, that need to know what happens next. So here's my promise to you. If you stick with me through this video, I'm going to give you a story that's worth your time, that's worth your heart. I'm going to answer the question you're asking right now. What happened when Emma and Noah shared that cab in the rain? But to get there, you've got to trust me, because this story is full of surprises, and I'm saving the best ones for the end. You're not just a viewer, you're part of this journey, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Let's wrap this up with a little teaser, because I want you to be itching to keep watching. Imagine Emma and Noah, still in that cab, the rain slowing to a drizzle outside. They're laughing about something silly. Maybe the way Noah's guitar case is taking up half the seat, or how Emma's sneakers are making a squishing sound every time she moves. But then out of nowhere one of them says something so unexpected, so raw that the air in the cab changes. The laughter stops. Their eyes lock. And in that moment, they both know, this isn't just a cab ride. This is the start of something bigger, something they're not sure they're ready for. But before they can figure out what it means, the cab pulls over. The driver turns around. And then, well, you'll have to wait to find out what happens next, because that's where this story takes a turn you won't see coming. So, my friends, Are you ready to find out what happens when two strangers share a cab in the rain? Hit that play button, because the answer is waiting for you, and it's going to be one heck of a ride. The cab screeches to a halt, its tires kicking up a spray of rainwater that glistens under the neon glow of a New York City streetlight. Emma and Noah, still caught in the weight of that unspoken moment, are jolted back to reality as the driver grumbles about traffic and flips on the meter. The air inside the cab is thick with something neither of them can name. A mix of anticipation, vulnerability, and the faintest hint of fear. Emma fidgets with the hem of her soaked jacket, her mind racing to process what Noah just said, those words that hung between them like a melody she can't shake. Noah, meanwhile, grips his guitar case a little tighter, his knuckles white, as if anchoring himself against the tide of emotions threatening to spill over. You're probably sitting there, heart pounding, wondering what those words were, what could possibly shift the atmosphere so drastically in the span of a single sentence. I'm not going to tell you just yet, because this story is about to get deeper, messier, and so much more intriguing. You're still with me, right? Good, because we're peeling back the layers of Emma and Noah's lives, diving into the secrets they're carrying, the dreams they're chasing, and the mysteries that are about to unravel. Let's step out of that cab for a moment and into the world that shaped these two strangers, because to understand what's happening now, you need to know where they've been, and what they're running from. Emma's story starts in a small town in Ohio, where she grew up sketching wildflowers in the margins of her notebooks and dreaming of a life bigger than the cornfields that stretched out forever. She moved to New York 5 years ago, chasing a career in graphic design, determined to make her mark in a city that chews up dreamers and spits them out. At first, it was exhilarating. Late nights in cramped apartments, brainstorming with other creatives, landing her first big client. But the grind wore her down. Her boss at the design firm is a micromanager who seems to thrive on crushing her confidence, and her latest project, a campaign for a trendy startup, fell apart when the client ghosted her. On top of that, her apartment in Brooklyn is a disaster, with a leaky ceiling and a landlord who's always out of town. Emma's friends keep telling her she's living the dream, but lately, it feels more like a nightmare. She's 29, staring down the barrel of 30, and wondering if she's made all the wrong choices. That rainy night in the cab? It wasn't just about getting out of the storm. It was about escaping the weight of a life that's starting to feel like it's not hers anymore. But there's something else, something she hasn't told anyone, not even her best friend, Mia. It's a letter she found tucked in an old book at a used bookstore, addressed to someone named E, and signed with a single initial, N. The words in that letter haunt her, stirring up questions about love, regret, and a life she might have missed. Could it be a coincidence that she's now sitting next to a guy named Noah? You're probably feeling that tingle of curiosity, wondering if that letter holds the key to this story. Hold on to that feeling, because it's about to get even more complicated. Noah's life, on the other hand, is a melody that's always one note away from completion. Born and raised in Brooklyn, he grew up in a family where music was as essential as air. His dad was a jazz pianist, his mom a singer who could make you cry with a single verse. Noah inherited their talent, but not their luck. He's been playing gigs in dive bars and subway stations for years, his guitar case always open for spare change, his dreams of a record deal always just out of reach. At 32, he's starting to feel the pressure of time, especially since his younger sister Lily just got engaged and keeps asking when he's going to settle down. Noah laughs it off, but deep down, he's terrified of becoming the guy who never made it, the one who's still busking at 50, chasing a dream that's long gone. What nobody knows, not Lily, not his bandmates, not even the fans who cheered his open mic nights, is that Noah's been writing a song for years, a song he's never finished. It's about a moment in his past, a night he can't let go of, when he met someone who changed him forever and then disappeared without a trace. He calls it Rain Song, and every time he plays it, he feels her, the girl he lost, the one he's been searching for in every crowd. When he climbed into that cab with Emma, something about her felt familiar, like a chord he's played before. Was it her eyes? Her voice? Or just the rain playing tricks on his heart? You're probably wondering if Emma could be that girl, if their meeting is more than just chance. I'm not going to answer that yet, but let's just say the universe has a way of throwing curveballs, and Noah's about to catch one. Now let's zoom out a little, because this story isn't just about Emma and Noah, it's about the world they're navigating, the people who orbit their lives, and the secrets that tie them all together. Take Mia, Emma's best friend, who's been her rock since they met at a design conference 3 years ago. Mia's the kind of person who lights up a room, always ready with a joke or a glass of wine to fix a bad day. But lately, Mia's been acting strange. Distant, distracted, like she's hiding something. Emma's noticed it, but she's been too caught up in her own drama to push for answers. What Emma doesn't know is that Mia's been digging into her own past, trying to track down a family member she hasn't seen in years. It's a search that's led her to some unexpected places, including a dusty old bookstore in Manhattan where she sold a box of books last month. One of those books? An old novel with a letter tucked inside, addressed to E and signed N. Sound familiar? Mia has no idea the letter's connected to Emma, but the coincidence is enough to make your skin prickle. And then there's Lily, Noah's sister, who's planning her wedding and roping Noah into helping with the music. Lily's got her own subplot brewing. She's been getting mysterious texts from an unknown number, messages that hint at a secret from her family's past. She hasn't told Noah yet, but the more she digs, the more she realizes it might have something to do with his rain song, and the girl he's never stopped thinking about. You're probably starting to see the threads weaving together, the way these lives are tangled in ways nobody fully understands yet. That's the beauty of this story. It's a puzzle, and every piece you get makes you want to see the whole picture. Let's circle back to that cab, because the moment we left off is still simmering, still begging for answers. The driver's turned around now, muttering something about the fare, but Emma and Noah barely hear him. They're locked in this bubble, the rain outside a soft hum, the city a blur. Whatever Noah said, it was raw, unguarded, the kind of thing you don't say to a stranger unless you're desperate or inspired. Emma's heart is pounding, not just because of his words, but because of what she's holding back. There's a reason she's so shaken, a reason she's looking at Noah like he's both a lifeline and a landmine. It's not just the letter in her bag, though that's part of it. It's something from her own past, a choice she made years ago that she's never forgiven herself for. Noah, too, is wrestling with his own ghosts. His confession wasn't planned. It slipped out, a crack in the armor he's worn for years. And now, with the cab idling and the driver waiting, they're at a crossroads. Do they keep talking, risk baring their souls to a stranger? Or do they let the moment pass, chalk it up to the rain and move on? You're probably dying to know what they choose. And I get it, that tension is electric, isn't it? But here's where it gets even wilder. The driver, who's been silent this whole time, suddenly says something that makes both Emma and Noah freeze. It's not about the fare. It's not about the weather. It's about them. Something he's noticed, something he knows. What could a random cab driver possibly know about two strangers? That's the question that's going to haunt you, because as the cab door opens and the rain starts to fall again, this story is about to take a turn that'll leave you speechless. The beauty of this moment is that it's not just about Emma and Noah. It's about the way life throws us into each other's paths, the way a single night can ripple out into something bigger. Emma's got that letter burning a hole in her bag, a mystery she's only beginning to unravel. Noah's got his song, a piece of his heart he's never shared with anyone. Mia's out there, chasing her own ghosts, unaware of how close she's come to Emma's story. And Lily's texts are piling up, each one a clue to a secret that could change everything Noah thinks he knows. The rain's still falling, the city's still humming, and these lives are colliding in ways that feel both random and inevitable. You're probably feeling the weight of it now, the way the stakes are climbing, the way every detail is pulling you deeper into the story. That's what I love about this tale. It's not just a romance, it's a web of human connection, of hope and heartbreak and the courage it takes to keep going. But here's the thing. We're not at the answers yet. The tension's building, the mysteries are stacking up, and the only way to find out what happens next is to keep going. So stay with me, because just when you think you've got this story figured out, it's about to twist in a way you'll never see coming. The cab door swings open, and the rain, now a persistent drizzle, slips into the space where Emma and Noah sit frozen, their breath catching as the driver's cryptic words echo in their minds. He didn't just comment on the fare or the weather. He said, "You two aren't strangers, are you?" His voice was low, almost amused, like he'd seen something in their faces that they hadn't dared admit to each other. Emma's pulse races, her fingers tightening around the strap of her bag where the mysterious letter, addressed to E and signed N, sits like a ticking time bomb. Noah's eyes dart to the driver, then back to Emma, searching for an answer she doesn't have. You're probably leaning forward right now, your heart pounding as you try to piece together what this driver knows, how he could possibly sense a connection between two people who, as far as they know, have never met before. But here's where this story takes a turn that'll make your jaw drop, because just as Emma opens her mouth to ask what the driver means, he hands her a crumpled photograph, one that changes everything. It's a Polaroid, faded at the edges, showing two people laughing under an umbrella in the rain, and though the faces are blurry, there's no mistaking the guitar case slung over one shoulder or the scarf tied around the woman's neck. It's them, or at least, it looks like them. How is this possible? You're hooked, aren't you? You're dying to know what's going on, and I promise, we're diving deeper into this mystery. But you've got to stick with me, because the stakes are about to skyrocket, and the twists are only beginning. Let's rewind just a moment to process this, because the weight of that photograph is sinking in for Emma and Noah, and it's shaking. The foundation of everything they thought they knew. Emma's mind is a whirlwind. She's staring at the Polaroid, her scarf suddenly feeling like a noose around her neck. That scarf, a bright red one her mother gave her years ago, is the same one in the photo, but she's never posed for a picture like this. Not with Noah, not with anyone. Her past rushes up to meet her, a memory she's buried deep. A night 7 years ago when she was 22, standing outside a bar in the rain, talking to a stranger who made her laugh until her sides hurt. She never got his name, never saw him again, but the memory has lingered like a song she can't forget. Could that have been Noah? Is the letter in her bag connected to that night? She's too afraid to ask, too afraid to voice the impossible thought that's forming in her mind. Noah, meanwhile, is grappling with his own shock. The guitar case in the photo is unmistakably his, the one his dad gave him before he passed away, scratched and worn in all the same places. But he's never taken a photo like this, never stood under an umbrella with a girl like Emma. Or has he? There's a gap in his memory, a blurry spot from a night years ago when he was drunk on whiskey and heartbreak, a night he's always chalked up to bad choices. The driver, watching them through the rearview mirror, offers no explanation, just a knowing smile that makes their skin crawl. You're probably feeling the same chill they are, wondering how a random cab driver could hold the key to a moment neither of them can fully remember. But hold on, because this is where the story cracks wide open. The main conflict is no longer just about whether Emma and Noah will act on the spark between them. It's about whether they can unravel the truth of their past before it tears them apart. The photograph is a bombshell, suggesting they've crossed paths before, maybe even shared a moment that shaped their lives without them realizing it. But how? And why is the driver involved? As they step out of the cab, the rain soaking them anew, Emma clutches the Polaroid, her voice trembling as she asks Noah if he's ever seen it before. He shakes his head, but there's a flicker of doubt in his eyes, a crack in his usual confidence. They're standing on a bustling Manhattan sidewalk now, strangers passing by with umbrellas and hurried steps, but for Emma and Noah, the world has narrowed to this single impossible question. Are they connected by something bigger than chance? Before they can say more, Noah's phone buzzes with a text from his sister Lily that stops him cold. Found something about Mom. Call me now. At the same moment, Emma's phone lights up with a message from Mia. I know who wrote that letter. Meet me at the bookstore. The timing is too perfect, too eerie, and it's clear that whatever's happening, it's bigger than a rainy cab ride. You're probably buzzing with questions. How do these messages tie in? What's the deal with the photograph? And who is this driver who seems to know more than he should? That's the magic of this story. It's a puzzle that keeps growing, and every piece pulls you deeper. Let's dive into the subplots, because they're weaving into this mystery in ways that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Lily's text to Noah isn't just a random interruption. It's a clue to a family secret that's been buried for years. Lily's been digging into their parents' past, spurred by those mysterious texts from an unknown number. What she's found is a journal, hidden in their mother's old belongings, that mentions a night in New York, a rainy night, and a stranger with a guitar. The journal doesn't name names, but the details are too close to Noah's rain song to be a coincidence. Lily's starting to wonder if Noah's obsession with that song isn't just about a lost love. It might be tied to their family's history, maybe even to their mother's death, which Noah has never fully come to terms with. She's hesitant to tell him, knowing how much it'll shake him, but the texts she's getting are getting more urgent, hinting that someone out there knows the truth and wants it to come out. Meanwhile, Mia's message to Emma is a bombshell of its own. Mia's been at the bookstore, the same one where Emma found the letter, and she's uncovered a box of old photos and letters that the owner says were left there years ago by a woman who looked just like Emma. One of the letters mentions a cab ride, a musician, and a promise that was never kept. Mia's freaking out, because she thinks the letter Emma's carrying isn't just a random find. It's a piece of a story that's been waiting for her to find it. You're probably feeling the goosebumps now, the way these threads are tangling, the way every subplot is pulling Emma and Noah closer to a truth they're not sure they're ready to face. Here's where the twist comes in, and it's a doozy. As Emma and Noah stand there, soaked and stunned, the cab pulls away, but not before the driver leans out the window and says, "Check the back of the photo." They flip it over, and there, scrawled in faded ink, is a date. July 17, 2018. That's 7 years ago, the exact night Emma remembers from the bar. The night Noah's memory gets fuzzy. But there's more, a single word written next to the date. Fate. It's not just a word. It's a challenge, a taunt, a hint that someone somewhere has been orchestrating this moment. Was it the driver? The person who left the letter? Or someone else entirely? The discovery sends a jolt through them, and for the first time, they look at each other not as strangers, but as partners in a mystery they can't ignore. They agree to meet later, at the coffee shop down the street, to figure out what this all means. But as Noah walks away, Emma notices something fall from his guitar case. A small, folded note, half soaked by the rain. She picks it up, her hand shaking, and unfolds it to find a single line. "Find her before it's too late." The handwriting matches the letter in her bag. You're probably screaming internally right now, wondering who wrote that note, who her is, and what "too late" means. That's the heart of this story. It's not just about love or chance, it's about a race against time, a truth that's slipping away with every second they waste. The stakes are higher than ever now. Emma and Noah aren't just two people who shared a cab. They're caught in a web of secrets, memories, and clues that suggest their lives have been intertwined for years, maybe even before they were born. The photograph, the letter, the note. They're all pieces of a puzzle that's bigger than either of them can grasp. Lily's journal and Mia's discovery are pulling them toward a truth that could rewrite their pasts and change their futures. And the driver? He's no ordinary cabbie. He's a wild card, a figure who seems to know too much, and his role in this story is only starting to come into focus. You're probably feeling the tension building, the way every revelation raises more questions than answers. That's what makes this story so gripping. It's a roller coaster of emotions, a journey that's as much about uncovering the past as it is about fighting for a future. Emma and Noah are on the verge of something huge, but they're not there yet. The climax is coming, but for now they're standing in the rain, holding clues they don't fully understand, with a note that's burning a hole in Emma's pocket and a date that's haunting Noah's mind. What happens when they meet at that coffee shop? What secrets will they uncover, and what will it cost them? You're going to have to keep watching, because this story is about to explode, and you won't believe where it's headed next. The rain has stopped now, leaving the streets of New York City slick and shimmering under the streetlights as Emma and Noah make their way to the coffee shop, their hearts heavy with the weight of the clues they're carrying. The Polaroid, the letter, the note, and that haunting word, fate, scrawled on the back of the photo. The coffee shop is a cozy haven, its windows fogged with warmth, the smell of espresso and cinnamon wrapping around them like a blanket as they slide into a booth, the crumpled note and photograph laid out between them like pieces of a map they're desperate to read. You're probably right there with them, your pulse racing, wondering how all these threads, the letter addressed to E, Noah's rain song, Mia's discovery, Lily's journal, and the cab driver's eerie knowledge, are going to come together. This is it, my friends, the moment we've been building toward, the climax where Emma and Noah face the truth about their past, their connection, and the future they might still have. I'm talking directly to you, because I know you've been on this journey with me, rooting for these two, feeling their fear and hope. Stick with me, because we're about to unravel every mystery, tie up every loose end, and deliver a final twist that'll leave you breathless. Let's dive into the heart of this story, because the answers are here, and they're more beautiful, and more heartbreaking, than you could ever imagine. Emma's hands tremble as she unfolds the note again, the words, "Find her before it's too late," staring back at her in the same looping handwriting as the letter in her bag. She looks at Noah, his face pale, his eyes searching hers for something to hold on to. They start with the Polaroid, that faded image of two people under an umbrella, so eerily familiar yet impossible. Noah's voice is barely above a whisper as he admits he's been haunted by a night 7 years ago. July 17, 2018, the date on the photo. He was 25, reeling from his father's death, drowning his grief in a bar when he met a girl who made him laugh, made him feel alive for the first time in months. They talked for hours, stood in the rain, promised to meet again, but he woke up the next day with no name, no number, just a melody in his head that became Rain Song. Emma's breath catches, because she was there that night, too, outside a different bar, talking to a stranger who felt like home. She never told anyone, not even Mia, because it felt too fleeting, too fragile to be real. But the scarf in the photo, the guitar case, they're not coincidences. They were those two people, 7 years ago, and somehow they found each other again. The letter, the one addressed to E and signed N, is Noah's, written that night in a drunken haze, slipped into a book he left at the bar, hoping she'd find it. It's a confession of everything he felt, everything he couldn't say. You're probably feeling the weight of this moment, the way fate has pulled them back together, but there's more, because the cab driver's role in that note are about to turn this story upside down. The coffee shop door swings open, and Mia bursts in, her face flushed, a box of old letters and photos clutched in her arms. She's been at the bookstore, piecing together the mystery of the letter, and what she's found is staggering. The woman who left the box years ago wasn't just a random customer. She was Noah's mother, Clara, who died when Noah was 24. Clara was a hopeless romantic, always leaving notes and mementos in books, hoping they'd find the right hands. The letter Emma found was one of Clara's, but it wasn't written by Noah. It was written by Clara to a young woman she met briefly, a woman she believed was destined for her son. That woman was Emma's mother, Elizabeth, who passed away when Emma was a teenager. The E wasn't Emma. It was Elizabeth. Clara and Elizabeth met by chance in a bookstore, shared a coffee, and talked about their dreams for their children. Clara, sensing something special, wrote the letter, a wish for Elizabeth's daughter to find love, and tucked it into a book. But Elizabeth died before she could share it, and the book ended up in the bookstore where Emma found it. The Polaroid? It wasn't Emma and Noah, it was Clara and Elizabeth, taken by a street photographer during their meeting. A moment preserved by chance. The note, "Find her before it's too late," was Clara's, too, left in Noah's guitar case years ago, a mother's plea for her son to find the happiness she knew he deserved. You're probably reeling right now, feeling the layers of this story peel back, the way their mother's hopes have guided them to this moment. But the climax isn't over yet, because the cab driver's about to drop the final piece of the puzzle. Noah's phone buzzes. Lily, his sister, is outside, her voice frantic. She's brought their mother's journal, the one she found while digging into those mysterious texts. The journal confirms everything Mia's uncovered, but it adds a heartbreaking detail. Clara knew she was sick, knew she didn't have long, and spent her final months planting seeds of hope for Noah, leaving letters and notes in places she believed fate would find. The cab driver, it turns out, wasn't random either. His name is Henry, and he was Clara's friend, a fellow musician who promised to keep an eye on Noah after she was gone. Henry recognized Emma's scarf and Noah's guitar case, saw the echo of Clara and Elizabeth in them, and knew this was the moment he'd been waiting for. He'd been carrying that Polaroid for years, a keepsake from Clara, waiting for the right time to pass it on. The texts Lily's been getting? They were from Henry, nudging her toward the journal, making sure the truth came to light. As Henry joins them in the coffee shop, his eyes misty, he tells Emma and Noah that their meeting wasn't just chance. It was the culmination of their mother's dreams, a love story written in the stars before they were even born. Emma and Noah sit there, surrounded by Mia, Lily, and Henry, the weight of their mother's love sinking in, their hands brushing against each other under the table. You're probably tearing up now, feeling the beauty of this moment, the way every clue, the letter, the photo, the note, has led them here. But there's one final twist, and it's going to leave you in awe. As the group talks, Emma pulls out the letter again, reading it aloud for the first time. It's Clara's words to Elizabeth, a wish for their children to find each other, to find love that lights up the darkest nights. But at the bottom, there's a postscript nobody noticed before. If they find this, tell them about the song. Noah's eyes widen. He knows what it means. He grabs his guitar, right there in the coffee shop, and plays Rain Song, the melody he's been chasing for 7 years. As the notes fill the air, Emma realizes it's the same melody she's been humming since that night in 2018, a song they created together without knowing it. The final twist? They didn't just meet that night, they wrote the first verse of Rain Song together, scribbled on a napkin in the bar, a promise to finish it someday. The napkin's long gone, but the song lives in them, a thread that's pulled them back together. The coffee shop falls silent, customers turning to listen, as Emma joins in, singing the words she didn't know she remembered. It's their climax, their resolution. A love that's been waiting 7 years, guided by their mothers, by fate, by a rainy night they thought they'd lost. You're probably feeling the goosebumps, the way this story has come full circle, the way every question has an answer that feels both impossible and inevitable. The subplots wrap up in a way that's just as satisfying. Mia, shaken by her role in uncovering the truth, realizes her search for her lost family member was mirrored in Emma's journey, giving her the courage to keep looking. Lily, holding her mother's journal, feels closer to Clara than ever. Her wedding plans now infused with a new sense of purpose. Henry, the cab driver, smiles quietly, his promise to Clara fulfilled, ready to fade back into the city's hum. Emma and Noah, now hand in hand, step out into the night, the stars visible for the first time in hours. They're not just strangers who shared a cab, they're partners in a story that's only beginning, their future full of sunshine because they've faced their past. The key takeaway? Love isn't just about the moments we plan, it's about the ones we stumble into, the ones that find us when we're lost in the rain. You're probably sitting there, heart full, mind blown, thinking about the people and moments that have shaped your own life. That's what this story's about. Believing in the magic of connection, in the way the universe conspires to bring us home. So my friends, as Emma and Noah walk into the night, their song still echoing, I want you to carry this with you. Keep your heart open, because your own rainy night, your own future full of sunshine, might be just one cab ride away.